Welcome to Programming Minds. In this video, we are going to learn Q in its standard template libraries C++. So let's get started. Q is a type of container adapter. It works on first in, first out, that means FIFO method. Elements in a queue inserted at back and removed from the front. For example, queue at a ticket counter. So elements in a queue inserted at back. So as we see in real queue, people getting added at the back and gets removed from the front. So this is how queue works in C++ as well. So we are going to see following functions like empty, size, push, pop, front and back. So let's get started with the code. I have written basic code hash include the I have imported the libraries, the basic standard library, then library of a queue from standard template libraries. Then we have written a standard line using namespace standard. So now let's get started by defining one a queue. So it will be integer q, and let's use push method. Here we return it a push, so we will use this method to add elements in a queue. So queue dot push into bracket, we will add 10. Then queue dot push into bracket, we will add 20. Then queue dot push into bracket, we will add 30. Queue dot push bracket, we will add 40. Okay, so we have added elements in a queue by using push method. Now let's define one function, void print queue. So by using this function, we are going to print the element into queue. So we can add a comment like function to print queue. Okay, here we will pass argument. The queue will store integer and queue. Okay, so in that function we will use cout print message like queue, and we will use while loop where we check if queue is not empty. So here we are using empty function to check if queue is empty or not. So yeah, here we will use cout, give some space, it will look better. And here we will print first element of a queue, front element. Okay, and yeah, that's it. Now here we need to remove the first element of a queue by using pop method to print all the elements from a queue. So this is simple function. By this function we will be printing elements of a queue. So we have used push method here. In that function we will give one line space after printing queue, so it will look good. Let's use handle. Okay, now let's call that function from here. So and print or queue, we will pass queue as a parameter. Okay, so this is the function to print queue elements. Now let's run the program and check if it's working well. Click on local Windows debugger. Program is running successfully, and we have printed the elements like 10, 20, 30 and 40 that we have added here. So as a rule of queue, the first element, front element is 10, and then we have added new element at the back. Okay, so now let's implement another functions. Here we can check size of a queue. So size of queue, and it will be printed by function queue dot size. Okay, we'll give one line space here. Then we will check pop function, pop, and we will remove first element of a queue. Then again we will print the queue here, print queue, and we will pass queue again here. Yeah. Now let's run it again and check if it's working well. Yeah, so now we had elements 10, 20, 30, 40 in a queue. Size of a queue was 4. Then we have removed the first element by using pop function. And now there are elements like 20, 30, 40. So as the rule of queue says, element gets added at the back, like we have added back 20, 30, 40, and elements get removed from front. So here we have removed the first element. So this is how we can implement queue in C++ standard template libraries. So if you like this video, subscribe to the Programming Minds YouTube channel.